say, where have they played? All over the country and in England. Who have we worked with? Do we know anybody famous? Anybody famous? Do we know anybody famous? Anybody famous? And as a point of interest, we spell our last name R-O-C-H-E. We are making death in Jersey. Hello in there in New York City. We never get a name before the shit is a fan. Anybody fan? Someone said, when have we played? All that are actually and we are Maggie and Terry Suzy. We spell our last name R-O-C-H-E. You can take my house away, I don't care. You can take my job away, I don't care. You can make my money, I don't care. Might as well make my boyfriend, I don't care. What not, what not, what not. 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 You can take my picture, take it, or you can have my attitude, have it, or limousine, I never ride in, I don't care. Go ahead, fix my wagon, I don't care. What not, what not, what not. What not, what not, what not. What not, what not, what not. What not, what not, what not.
I wish there was a true love. I wish there was a great art. I wish there always was enough.
But I'd not want if I were smart. I wish there was a true love. I wish there was a great art. I wish there always was enough. But I'd not want if I were smart. Oh, what not, 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 what not. Holy mackerel, isn't that she's all over there? She's got my face on, she's got my hair. She took what I had, my cupboard bare. It's what she wanted, I don't care. How much you got? I got 3. You'll probably take it away from me. I've seen what happened, you'll be sorry. You'll get what I got, don't worry. Want not, 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 want not,
Okay, welcome to the Opperman Report. I am your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman. You can find me at Opperman Investigations and Digital Forensic Consulting if you contact me at oppermaninvestigations@gmail.com. Also, too, be sure and check out our Patreon, the Opperman Report Patreon. A lot of great content there. Keep an eye out there for the Little Rod lawsuit against P. Diddy. We have NT Lawyer coming on later on. And he says over and over and over again, if you want to understand the charges against P. Diddy, to check out the Little Rod complaint and lawsuit. And we have that up there at the Opperman Report Patreon. Also, too, of course, the Pete Hegseth, the police report when he raped that poor woman, that poor married woman. You know, he drugged her and raped her, man. It's, read the report and tell me what you think. Okay, don't let me put ideas in your head. Do a live show every Friday night at Spreaker.com, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's a chat room. You get an email notification when we put new content. Play repeats every single night of the week. Sometimes in the day, but sometimes at night, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes in the morning. Okay, you never know. Plus, we play the May Brussels archives, too, as well. I got to get around to talking to Dave Emery about playing his archives, too, as well. I'd like to give him some support there, too, see if he's interested in doing that. Let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, by the way, we're worried about this whole situation with Spreaker, because I'm not going to be able to do live shows on Spreaker anymore. Starting January 1st. So the plan is, your evil mastermind here at Opperman, what my plan is. Okay, what I'm going to do is, you got a gun with a silencer, right? I'm going to scope out Manhattan. Oh, no, whoa, not that plan. Wait a second. Oops. Not that plan. Wait a second. Look at my notes here. The other plan is I can do a live stream with video. I don't think I'm giving this some serious thought. You know what? I won't be able to because there's no camera on this studio setup here. I don't have a camera. Any cameras in my house? Not that I'm paranoid. Okay, I just know it's out there. Okay. I apologize. I played 2 songs instead of 1 because I am a huge fan of the Roaches. One of the Roaches I just found out passed away, I think, in 2017. I can't encourage you enough to go to YouTube and just put in the Roaches, Roches. Hallelujah is one of their great songs, and The Married Man, and Going Back to Hammond. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful songs. It just reminds me of my childhood. These two girls were these women, young ladies. Although they were girls when I was hanging around down there, they were bartenders at what's the name of that place? Speakeasy? I forget what it. Oh man, I the tip of my tongue. Folk City. They were bartenders at Folk City, and what they would do is they would sing at Washington Square Park underneath the arch. Especially Christmas time, they would sing Christmas carols. Okay, beautiful, beautiful voices and singing. This is like 1977, 78. And, I was down there all the time, and I heard them singing the Christmas carols. I was, oh, boy, this is so great. And I go, yeah, they're bartenders from Folk City. I says, wow. And then, then later on, you saw them on Saturday Night Live. They're hanging out with Paul Simon. They're doing all this great stuff. And that's how it was back in those days. People with talent would rise to the top, And it was a small world, and you got to meet people and know people and communicate with people. Unlike today, where it's just it's who's artificially elevated on Twitter, and then to brainwash people into following and listening to. It's just pathetic. If you've been around and you see what's going on today, it's just sad, so sad. Anyway, that's the Roaches, and I really encourage you to go back and check out all the content from the Roaches. I'm going to play a song, too, at the end, too. Those days. Christmas time in New York, Washington Square Park. And that would be the time because, there's selling marijuana. And that was the time I would be making the most money. That was a season when I'd be making the most money. And I have here in my notes, a suit of marijuana. Because, you'd have to carry all this pot around. So I would put the ounces like in the sleeves of my coat and stuff like that. And I'd be wearing a suit of marijuana. So tonight we got some good content for you after some recorded content. First is NT Lawyer. Everybody loves him. And we're talking about P. Diddy and all those scandals. And you know what I mean, man? I tell you, I do the best that I can. I bring you people that really know what's going on. Information that you're not going to be able to Google. You can Google to your little fingers to the bone. You're not going to hear the stuff this man shared with me. And the information I share back with him. I've been talking about P. Diddy for 10 years. I dare you to find somebody talking about P. Diddy before me. The shooting in with the pregnant girl in the hand, and the stuff about the Keith Schiller, all that stuff, man. I dare you. I double dare you. Okay? And then we have, after that, Dan O'Hanks, legendary private investigator involved with exposing Michael Jackson. Covered up for Trump. I couldn't get him. He's a cagey fellow, Mr. Hanks. trying to get information out of him sometimes. Notorious guy. He's been out there, really. And what's his book called? Tinseltown Gumshoe, something like that. I should have it at the tip of my tongue. Let me pull it up because he's a good guy. I like that. I have a lot of respect for him. And like I say during the interview, here's a guy, and I'm known as a historic information broker. And other PIs come to me for information. And when I get stuck, I go to Dan O'Hanks, man. And he doesn't just sell you information. He sits there and tells you how to get it next time. Sits there for free. Then talks to you on the phone for 30 minutes. And I hate talking on the phone for 30 minutes. But, I got a lot of respect for the guys. I sit there and listen to him. Dan O'Hanks, Hollywood detective. I was Tinseltown's private eye. We get into that there. He's trying to get a pardon from Mr. Biden. So maybe we can do some kind of petition or something there. We'll come up with $2 million for Hank to get a pardon from Mr. Trump to see how that works out for him. If they did all that covering up for Trump, you'd think Trump would do him a favor. He must have some dirt on Trump. Maybe I can negotiate a deal for him. Maybe I'll get to work on that if I get some energy this week. A little rough week, guys. By the way, I got health coverage today. I signed up Affordable Care Act, And this time we did a little bit more research into it. Myself. I did a little more research into it than I did the last 2 times. I got totally ripped off. And I think I got a good plan, and it's going to cover the needs that I need, my arm and my eyes, and physical therapy I need. Plus, I'm pretty sure I have diabetes, and I think I have muscular dystrophy, too. Okay, we're out there giving away all my secrets, my plot with my silencer. And please don't contact me with home remedies and cures and stuff like that. Please, I beg you, please. I'm begging you, please. I'm begging you, please. You're just going to get blocked, okay? I'm on a rampage of blocking people. I'm blocking. Even if I like you, I'm blocking you now. Okay, I'm blocking everybody. Okay? So anyway, I got some health insurance now. But I had a... But I hate to say it, but about 3 weeks ago, in my left eye, I have 2 contact lenses. I have to wear 2 contact lenses in my left eye. First a soft one, then a hard one on top. And these are custom-made hard contact lenses that you can't find. You can't just walk into Lens Crafters or walk into a fancy ophthalmologist's office and they'll know how to do the contacts that I need. It takes hours to fit them correctly. And sometimes one time they sent me to the factory where the guy manufactured them. And I was putting one lens in my eye after another just until we finally got it right. So that's what I'm dealing with, Look up the show I did about miracle contacts. Robots, magical thinking, miracle contacts. It's the name of the show. Maybe I'll replay it for you tomorrow. And I describe some of my situation with my contact lenses. So, I take out the hard one and I lose the soft one. So I assume it's stuck up there in my eye because my eye's all irritated. It's still irritated to this moment right now. And I make an appointment with the eye doctor down here for $200 cash. Okay? Plus I got to take an Uber back and forth. And what bull crap, man. I go in there, I call him up and says, look, I got a lens stuck in my eye. All I need you to do is look in there, poke around, dig it out for me. Put the little Novocaine in there and we're all happy, right? Oh, we can do that way. No problem, Mr. Albert. Oh, come on down. Yeah. How much is it going to be? It's going to be $160. Actually, they said $150. The person who recommended them to me told me it was going to be between $125 or $150. Turns out to be $160. As I'm leaving now, it turns into $200. Okay? So I'm sitting there and I said, okay, I want you to check in my... Oh, okay, well, first we need to do an eye exam. Okay, read the chart. Put these drops in. All this bullshit. Okay? And I'm telling him over and over, look, I got a lens stuck in my eye. I need you to look in there and get the lens. Okay, right after this, we're going to look. We promise you, Ed. It's like Santa Claus. We're promising you. We're coming Christmas morning. Right? And then finally, the doctor finally comes in, with all this bull crap. And she's looking at my eye. She goes, well, I don't see one. And, if there was one in there, your eye would be all red and itchy but you'd be all gunk in there. I says, no. This has happened before. I had a hard one stuck in there for like 3 months. And they're trying to sell me hard contacts. And I'm telling them, listen, there's no way in this joint you got a doctor that can handle my hard contacts. I'm telling you. There's like a handful of people in the country that do what I need. And I've been through this for 30 years. My guy in New York, I used to have to go to the Cabrini Eye Center. My eye doctor in New York was the eye doctor for the Pope, and he was the eye doctor for Mother Teresa. Okay, that'll give you an idea. Okay, the kind of eye. Otherwise, just give me a dog. I'll buy a dog. You know. So finally, I tell this woman, I says, listen, I'm not buying lenses from you no matter what. And it's like, okay, well then you can leave. You know, we're not going to give you any drops or nothing for the pain in your eye, nothing. You know, so I've been letting it air out and since Monday, and I've only had one contact lens in since Monday, trying to let this thing heal on its own. I can feel it's about 99% healed. Okay, so that's what's going on there. But that's the state of our medical care in this country. Luigi's going to help. He's going to get us out. Luigi's going to get us out of this, man. But very interesting too, man. You notice with Luigi that they put him on that perp walk, and then when he starts talking to the reporters, they grab him by the neck. The guy's got pins in his neck, you know, to hustle him out of there. What? You put him on a perp walk, and then he wants to talk. Oh, no, you can't talk. But we're going to perp walk you. What crap, these bastards. Now, one of the things people don't understand about the state of healthcare in the United States of America, okay, one of the reasons why we have so many problems, okay, the cost of healthcare and all this kind of crap, okay. I talked about some of it last week, the insurance, the billing, that kind of stuff. Do you know why doctors today treat you like crap? Okay, when you walk into that office, you're dealing with that receptionist from start to finish, everyone's treating you rudely and like snots and jerks. Never used to be that way. When I was a child, okay, under 5 years old, we had this Cuban doctor, Dr. Perot. Okay, he wasn't Cuban. He was like Hungarian or something like that, but or Czechoslovakian, whatever, thick accent. But he lived in Cuba, and he delivered my mother and my brothers in Cuba. He was there with no birth certificates. By the way, my poor brothers, man. One of my brothers worked on Wall Street. I had no birth certificate, man. You had to explain. I had to prove his citizenship over and over. They were both in the military, too. But Dr. Perot was this real character in the Bronx. We used to go there when I was a kid. And I swear to you, my memories of this doctor's office, I think I've talked about it before. What I remember is this. You went there in the morning and you waited all day long. Okay? And it was this long hallway with all these women and their children and their babies and stuff like that. And they're all smoking. There's a cloud of smoke in the joint. And if I really focus hard, and I think I even saw some like Cuban revolutionaries carrying crates of guns and hand grenades in the background. I don't know. Maybe that's my imagination. Maybe that's just my memory. But I had a lot of stuff going on. And he'd be drinking scotch or rum, whatever it was. But he'd be drinking and he'd be smoking in there. One time he gave me a syringe to take home and play with and play doctor. I used syringe. Okay, but this guy, okay, when I got sick as a child, would come to our house, a house call. The doctors in the old, they would come to, there was called a house call, where the doctors would come to your house because they cared about you. Okay, he loved my mother, you know, our whole family, you know. But not, you know, forget now, man, you go to the doctor's office, they treat you like crap. You know why that is? Because right around 2000, me and Victoria, my ex-wife, we used to have this pediatrician, Dr. Joe Nacion, okay? We found out later on he had a really bad drinking problem. He died very young, from like cirrhosis of the liver and stuff, okay? And whenever we would go in there, he would always be talking, oh, my malpractice insurance is so high. My malpractice insurance, I cannot pay it. Oh, my goodness, it's so high. You need to vote for the cap on the insurance. So they did this thing all across the United States where they put a cap where you couldn't sue for more than, in Nevada, it was $350,000 was the cap on non-economic damages malpractice lawsuit. Now, the problem with that is, okay, the lawyer's going to get 35%. Okay, so that's, the lawyer gets $100,000. Now you're talking $150,000 left over. Okay? Oh, no, would it be $250 left over? Yeah. The lawyer's going to get like $105. So, but in order to win a medical malpractice lawsuit, you need to hire an expert witness who's going to go there, go over all the facts, and then he's going to testify in court. And that guy's going to cost about $100,000. So that's why they don't take these. You don't remember you used to see those commercials all the time for medical malpractice. Now they don't want those cases anymore. You can't get a lawyer in Las Vegas, in Nevada, to take a medical malpractice suit, because the only other thing you get is plus there's only 2 or 3 years you get a lawsuit, you know. So you can have a problem 5 years later. Oh, it's too late. Is economic damages, your loss of income. You know, what's your income? $35,000? You know, $40,000, $50,000? That's peanuts. It's nothing. No lawyer's going to take that case. So that's why they know that they can treat you like crap when you walk into their office, because you can't sue them anymore like you used to be able to sue them because of this cap on damages, man. So that's something that needs to be addressed in the medical care industry too, as well, that is not being addressed. I forgot to mention, too, there was a big arrest this week involving P. Diddy, right? The Alexander brothers have been arrested and charged with sex trafficking. Now, these guys were some fancy-pantsy real estate broker types in Miami, Florida, okay? And their crimes took place in Miami. They were arrested in Miami, but by SDNY in New York, they were arrested by federal charges, okay, for trafficking young women, taking them to Australia, and then raping them, and brutalizing them. These guys are connected with Diddy, and these guys are connected with the Kardashians and Kanye West, too, okay? So this seems to be like another case that's on the side, around the corner, that's being, because it's all feds, man, going after these guys. And I think it all started with that Jonathan Odie stuff. So go back to my old shows on Diddy, and you'll see some early discussion of these topics. Now, by the way, too, I'm a little pissed off, the usual, right? What else is new? Okay, well, what else is new, right? Always pissed off. Because I'm supposed to be getting, I was promised a hard drive, a copy of the Hunter Biden laptop, okay? And we've been in negotiations with this fellow for a while to get and nobody who's been a guest on my show, nothing like that. This is an outside source. To get me a copy of the Hunter Biden laptop. And now I'm starting to suspect that what this guy's sending me is the version of the laptop that Matt Gaetz entered into the congressional record. And if it is, man, I'm going to be super pissed, man, okay? Because this guy's dancing around all my questions now. And there's going to be a problem. I may have to hire Luigi to come down and help me out on this one here, okay? Because I'm going to be pissed, man. I'm not paying a lot for it. But if it's just that stupid, I can get that other one, man, for nothing. You know, for peanuts, man. You know? So let's see here. I think it's time to get into this stuff about the Article 3 of the 14th Amendment. Now, this is one of those situations. You know how I come to you, man? I say, no one else is talking about this. Now, either I'm crazy. Okay, which is possible, right? Now, either I'm crazy, man, or Trump is disqualified for taking the office of presidency unless there's a 3/4 vote to the House and the Senate to override that disqualification. Okay? Now, I've showed this to some lawyers. I got another constitutional lawyer who I got on the hook to come on the show about something else, and I'm going to hit him with this too. And I've talked to a lot of people about this, man. Okay, and if there's someone out there that can explain to me how I'm wrong, not giving me Fox News talking points, but I'm talking about to really to interpret these rulings, explain it to me. Okay, now the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment says no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who have previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of the state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States. So Trump definitely took that oath to support the Constitution of the United States. Shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. Now that's what the meat of Section 3, Article 3 of the 14th Amendment. Okay? That's what it says. Now, in Colorado, there was a lawsuit called Anderson versus Griswold, and you could watch it on TV. It's probably still on YouTube. Okay, and I got to admit, it was a very boring lawsuit because the guy who was on Trump's side was just this boring guy going through the motions. And he was only talking about technicalities in the law. But the people on the side of getting Trump off the ballot were very passionate, and they ruled on this that Trump did engage in insurrection, and under the 14th Amendment, Section 3, he was disqualified from running for president. They wanted to take him off the ballot in Colorado. This went all the way to the Colorado Supreme Court. The Colorado Supreme Court agrees, yes, it was an insurrection. Yes, the 14th Amendment, Article 3, disqualifies him from being president, but you can take him off the ballot. It goes to the U.S. Supreme Court, okay? And when that finally happened, when that ruling came in, the big Fox News talking point was, but Ed, this shouldn't be decided in court. The American people should decide who should be president. They should have a right to vote for whoever they want. Okay, that was the Fox News talking point. Now, by the way, that was gone over in the court. That was gone over in Anderson versus Griswold. That was part of that litigation. They brought that up and they lost. But now Fox News says, oh, but this is how you're supposed to think. And all these idiots, man, who think they understand what they're talking about, that's talking points, to start reciting these talking points, when that was already decided in Anderson versus Griswold. Now, when the U.S. Supreme Court takes on this case, right, and that was, I think it was Trump versus Anderson. Let me just pull that up real quick. Ah, God, I got so much going on. I got like 150 tabs open here. Yeah, it was Donald J. Trump petitioner versus Norma Anderson. Okay, my mother's name is Norma. I wonder if she was involved in this. Good old Dr. Perth. So what do you call it? So now the U.S. Supreme Court rules. Let me just pull this up right to the point where I want to read it. I want you guys to read all this. Tell me if I'm wrong. The court today needed to resolve only a single question: whether an individual state may keep a presidential candidate found to have engaged in insurrection off of its ballot. And the majority resolves much more. Oh, no, they go into that. The majority went into too much what could happen in the future. But the point is, Trump never even went to the U.S. Supreme Court and said, I didn't engage in insurrection. What are you talking about? They never brought it up, okay? All they brought up was that the state could not decide who could be elected in a federal office. And when I heard that decision, I agreed with that. And I still do agree with that. But this does not change the fact that the state of Colorado has found Trump engaged in insurrection. And he also aided others who were engaged in insurrection by supporting these he ran the whole rally there and all that kind of stuff. You can't deny that. Now he's talking about pardoning everybody. What more do you want? So, unless I'm crazy, or unless I'm totally misunderstanding everything I'm reading here, January 6th, just someone, when they're certifying these electors, someone just needs to cite this, call a motion, right, and say, under the 14th Amendment, Article 3, he's disqualified. We must have a vote in the Congress. And then Trump, in order to override that disqualification, would need 3/4 of the House and 3/4 of the Senate, which he cannot get in this instance. At least he's got everybody blackmailed. Now, I don't know, man. To me, this is clear as day. My only question is, and what if it's not? Why isn't this being discussed at all? Why is this one of those things that's not being talked about? How many things have I brought to you here on this show that no one else is talking about? The Trump Epstein rape lawsuit. Nobody wants to talk about that, right? What the hell is this? This is one of those things that no one's talking about. I talked about how the Hill cops were involved in the insurrection. There's no doubt that the Hill cops were involved in a coup. There's so much evidence for that. And I even talked to her about Berge last week, about Leaving Good's father, being partners with Stone and Manafort. Come on. No one mentions Leaving Good's father's involved with these guys? No, he's a hero. But this is one of those things, man. And unless I'm crazy, if I'm wrong, point it out to me. Someone read all this. Find me a Supreme Court scholar, okay, a constitutional scholar. Find one for me, okay, and then set me straight. I'm happy to be set straight. But that's what I see here, man, by reading all this out. I've read through this 10 times, man. I cannot see otherwise. So, and I suspect... I can't imagine no one's going to bring this up January 6th. Like, not even one of these, who was it? Those, I hate to say those old ladies always, stirring up trouble there. Maxine Waters, those types, I should give her a call and see if she's going to jump up and do something about this, I got a lawyer in the chat room says I'm correct. Okay? Not just a lawyer, but a lashes expert, too. An eyelash expert. And a lawyer. I know I'm correct. Did you read it, Kat? I read the whole damn thing. You could find it. I'm going to put it up in Patreon. Okay, all these different... But you can find it on Wikipedia, a lot of this stuff, too, man. Put it up there, man. And someone explain this to me, if I'm wrong. I can't imagine I'm wrong. Colorado says he's guilty for insurrection. Colorado court held that Trump's actions and during the attack constituted engagement in insurrection. We need Luigi on this case. Luigi, why did I make it an insurrection? Yeah, come on, Luigi. Let's see what else is in my notes here. I felt pretty good this week because I had so many notes. Get to the notes, and I love the roaches, man. I love this time of year, man. I mean, it's kind of sad, thinking back, it's my youth, Christmas time, Washington Square Park, and the roaches and stuff like that, I was crying, listening to those old songs, man, let's see. Oh, I could cry some more. I got some notes in there I could really cry. Well, let's see. Oh, the pillow guy. Man, I love the pillow guy. Certain things, man, come across my radar, and I fall in love with it. The pillow guy. Here's the pillow guy, man. He used to be a crackhead. He's addicted to gambling. Then he becomes a born-again Christian. Somehow stumbles into this pillow business. He's got the best pillows in the world. I'm the pillow expert that does these infomercials. And then, that's not... I was making money hand over fist on freaking pillows. Okay? God bless him. Okay? You make that money, bro, Make that money, man. On Mr. Pillow. Mike Lindell. But then he gets this hook in his craw that the election was rigged. The voting machines are rigged. He gets hooked up with this con man with this gibberish, and he believes that he's putting up on the screen. Look at it. That's the code that tells everything was stolen. And then I had the guest on my show who, he did a contest for $4 million. Said, prove me wrong. And this guy's a computer forensic expert from Las Vegas, Nevada. And he says, yeah, you're wrong. It's a proof. I'm not paying you. Okay, yes, you will. Okay, well, I'm going to take it to court and see. Sue me. Anyway, my pillow guy, this guy has, if you haven't heard the latest, he's trying to keep his pillows afloat. Trying to keep his pillows above water. So he takes out a loan for 400% interest. It wasn't even a big loan either. It was like $1.2 million. I think he took 2 of them, though, from this company. It just gives you loans of money at 400%. It's just like a payday loan. It's like a title loan on your car. when you're that desperate, Oh, God. So the desperate pillow man takes out a 400% loan. And then he says, I'm not paying this money back. Because it's illegal to charge this much interest. So his plan is to wear him out in court. He's going to run these guys in court. I guess he's got some lawyers, that are friends of Trump and stuff like that are working for him for free. But I just find these guys that are just so fascinating, man. And I tell you, I fall in love with their story. And I get to know people that know them. I just can't help myself. Like John Mark Carr, the Hunter Biden laptop. I just find these things and I can't stop myself. Jared Kushner. I mentioned this last week, but I'm going to mention it again this week too, man, because Trump just appointed Kimberly Guilfoyle Newsom, because she used to be married to Gavin Newsom, and she used to talk about the size of Gavin Newsom's penis, that he had a very large penis. Very strange woman. And clearly, you can see all the indications too. There's some kind of opiate addiction here too. Okay, just if you've been around this stuff, you can just see it. So anyway, Don Jr. breaks up with her, and Trump appoints her ambassador to Greece. By the way, we got Kat in the chat room that she's Greek. That's it. Right, yeah, Al Green might do it. Yeah, with his squinty eyes there, right? He'll squint at that Article 3. He'll say, Article 3, I see it. There it is, Article 3. I invoke Article 3 of the 14th Amendment. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Okay, but Kimberly Guilfoyle Newsom, okay, was appointed ambassadress, I guess, to Greece. Okay, because Don Jr. broke up with her. Now, I'll tell you a couple of stories, okay? Now, I know, you listen to these guys with these podcasts, right? And they go on, they start their podcast off because they're going to tell a story about Jeffrey Epstein, right, or something. I am not suicidal. I'm about to tell you some information that I Googled. And I just want to get to the record straight. I am not suicidal. I am not ill. I'm not sick. The brakes on my car work perfectly. Right? These guys, they take themselves so damn serious. Like, everybody gives a crap about what they're... That stuff is already available on Google. Okay? There's nothing new, man. Okay? But I'll tell you some stuff that's new. Okay? When I got a friend of mine used to work for me, and she lives in Sutton Place in Manhattan, and her neighbor and good friend is Don Jr.'s first wife, and her kids play with his kids. And I gotta tell you, the story I hear is he has not seen his kids. You don't see his kids very often, and he never sees them when he's alone. Okay, that's an interesting story there. And so one of the things that came up in my career is we got wind of a story of a 16-year-old girl who worked at a golf course in New Jersey who was dating a married man with kids who lived in Sutton Place. It was Don Jr. was dating a 16-year-old girl. Okay? That's the story. So I contacted this young lady, a 16-year-old girl. I tracked her down. I contacted her. And I said, hey, who are these people? Who are you dating? Would you like to perhaps you have a lawsuit against Mr. Don Jr., or perhaps an NDA agreement could be reached, right? So I contact her, quite openly with my real name, all kind of stuff like that. No response, okay? She doesn't get back to me. But there's no doubt in my mind that she did run to Don Jr. and say, hey, there's a PI named Ed Opperman who's contacting me about our alleged rendezvous, as Mr. Cosby would say, right? See, so that puts me on Mr. Don Jr.'s radar. Don Jr. knows my name, okay? So I don't come on here every week saying, I'm not suicidal, and when I'm really dealing with these motherfuckers, okay, in real life. I'm not Googling shit. Okay, I'm really dealing with these people in real life. All right. Now let me tell you about the drones. I really got nothing to say about these drones, Seen one, you've seen them all, right? Well, she doesn't even speak Greek. Well, she ate a Greek salad one time. I know she has. Okay, I guess she believes she gets it on time. I'd be a better ambassador. One of my chat room members is demanding to be appointed ambassador. Kat, I'm going to work on it for you, I promise. Okay, as soon as I get off the mic here, I'm going to get to work on that ambassadress for our friend Kat. She would make a great ambassador. Not just a Greek, any country would take her. Okay, very nice one. The drones. Okay, what are my 2 cents on the drones? I gotta tell you, man, I was watching all these videos here. They're shooting things, they're releasing gases, a lot of stuff going on up in the skies. There was some kind of prediction that I think it was December 5th or something like that, all the UFOs or the aliens were going to reveal themselves. And we're kind of seeing that, aren't we? But these drones that you can hear, they're drones or mechanical devices, whatever. They don't seem all that sophisticated beyond what our current technology here is in the United States of America. Like if these are aliens from a faraway planet, wouldn't they have much higher technology to reach us here and better than these stupid drones? Like you can buy it, Radio Shack. You know what I mean? So look, but otherwise, I have no inside info. Or just all my drone information comes from TikTok. I confess, from watching little drone videos on TikTok. But it seems like a lot of those videos are legit, and because you hear a lot of people, and they seem authentic. It's not like CGI where you see the obvious fake ones. So let's see what happens with the drones. One more time, Jared Kushner's father got an appointment there too. To what country would say? Australia, something like that. I forget what country he was sent to be ambassador. But this is a guy who should be charged with sex trafficking. Like I said many, many times, this bribery, this blackmail scheme, this extortion scheme that he had involved teenage Russian girls that he was sex trafficking. The guy should have been charged with sex trafficking. There's just no doubt about that in my mind. Luigi. I'd like to see a graffiti campaign of Luigi, free Luigi. Luigi was right. We are all Luigi, because it does seem to be that this is taking hold. The average American, it seems to be coming to the realization that the whole idea of health insurance is a freaking joke. What do we need? Why do we have a middleman between us and the doctors? It's the stupidest thing in the world. Or at least nationalize it, that we can take that profits and put it to use at schools or something like that, or, homeless shelters, something like that. So people seem to wake up to that. When I was talking about that kind of stuff, 10 years ago? But the problem is, like with George Floyd. Remember George Floyd? Everyone saw that. Look at this cop. He's got his knee on this guy's neck. The guy's dying right in front of everybody. And he's killing this guy right before our eyes. We're watching a snuff film. This is wrong. And you know who said it was wrong? The soccer moms. The suburban white soccer moms said, this is wrong. I am going to march for George Floyd. And I was involved in marches where the average people were out there marching, not the usual guys. I'm talking about after I got to Florida. In Bradenton, Florida, where they got the Confederate flags all over the joint. In fact, I was getting my car fixed down there on Cortez at this, I think it was a Mighty muffler place, man. And some teenagers, white teenagers, were protesting on the corner. And this guy gets wind of it. He calls the wife, get your shotgun. Get the shotgun. Pull the shotgun. They're so racist and crazy and cowardly down there. But the soccer mom said, no, man, this is wrong. Just like the soccer moms are saying about this health insurance stuff, that it's wrong. Okay? But they have a way, the media and the manipulation, the brainwashing machines that these people have, they have a way of twisting and turning people against all this stuff, man. And so let's just hope, man. But have we ever had success with these kind of things? Really, never. Just like my YouTubes get shut down all the time and I'm shadow banned all the time. Because I'm not a capitalist, and yet they elevate these people, these frauds and these hucksters, with their snake oil and their garbage, man. That's just how it is, man, So, here I am, end of my life. I look back and I got to wonder, was all this worth it? Was all this pushing that rock up and down that hill day after day after day after day for 52 years, 50 years, Started this stuff when I was like 15 years old. So the feds say that there's no threat from these drones. I don't know how they would know that. It seems like they're shooting stuff, right? I don't know, man. Let's see. Oh, some woman got arrested for threatening Blue Cross by saying, deny, diffuse, depose, and you're next. And $100,000 bail. She's in Lakeland, Florida, over here with that woman I interviewed. The woman who did the film about the woman in Lakeland who has that pet alligator in her bedroom in their house in Lakeland. Okay, probably her neighbor. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. New York Times had to turn off the comments. They were getting flooded with so many comments about people hating. Junior didn't like Guilfoyle's style. Family happy to see her go, reports say. Her style was like what of a bimbo, right? What are you going to call that, Tulsi Gabbard looks like she's having trouble getting to... she's going to get in trouble with her approval there in Congress, man. And what do they call that? I forget. There's some new allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce that some football player was at a party at their house and suddenly in the middle of the night a bunch of little kids showed up. I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised. It seems like a lot of shady stuff around that bunch. Let's take a look at the time here. Oh, the married man. The man. Yeah, we just talking about that. They arrested that lady in Lakeland, yeah. Yeah. I tell you, man. It's outrageous. Scientists say you lose 12 minutes every time you drink a Coke. I believe that, man. One of my biggest regrets is going back to drinking soda again. I didn't have sugar for so many years. I was so much healthier. But Florida. And now sometimes I have to have some sugar. Otherwise I get so lightheaded if I don't get some sugar in me. Top Chinese economists. I wonder if Elon Musk is behind these drones. He could build those things. He can just let him do whatever he wants. The SEC is talking about arresting him this weekend. Charging him this weekend for some kind of a... Oh, yeah, he had bought Twitter stock before he announced he was going to buy it. So, that's like insider trading. You can't do that kind of stuff. When I was with the pot, doing the pot back in the 80s, there was this company that was helping me launder money. They were giving me a paycheck. I'd give them cash every week or every 2 weeks, and they'd write a paycheck for me. And then when they were going to go public, they had to stop because there was so much scrutiny on their company. So that kind of stuff, the SEC does insider trading. They don't go for that stuff. Dogs able to communicate. Let's see, almost out of time. Coming up after this will be NT Lawyer talking about P. Diddy. Oh, there's even orbs, mystery orbs over Minnesota. A lot of stuff in the sky right now. And of course, the fall of Assad. Yeah, no one can figure out how that happened. I wonder what happened there. They found pallets of cash, too, man, over there, too, Paying off the generals not to fight back. Yeah, it doesn't take much. What about that thing, too, where Biden pardoned that guy who had like 400,000 images of child pornography on his computer who was connected to the Chinese Communist Party? Oh, boy. All right. Seems to be my notes. I have a couple of stories I could tell you. Let me see if I can pull these up. I don't know if I really want to. They're kind of depressing. All right. Take another look at them. I got stuff at the end of my notes always that's like if I really have to fill time. Oh, boy. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it this week. Okay, we're just going to play some outro music. I'm going to play some more roaches for you. And keep in mind, too, so what we're going to do is this live show, we're going to do it on a live stream through Patreon. And I'll do it through the lowest tier, $3. So I'll do it live through with video. No, I can't do video, right, because I don't have a camera. So I'll do that live through Patreon starting January 1st. or maybe I'll even do it. I can do it twice. I can do it through Patreon and through here for the next couple of weeks and get people used to it. If I have the energy to do all that. I really don't, man. But what do you call it? So we're going to keep an eye out for that, doing the live stream through Patreon. Coming up after this is P. Diddy, NT Lawyer. And then after that, the great Dano Hanks, who's the guy who got all those flight logs and all that stuff, man. That's Dano Hanks. That was his work. He's the one who identified Virginia Roberts, Goof-Free. And he sent me, you know what, man? I got to hit him back up again, man, because some of the stuff he sent me is still password protected. I'm sure I could talk him into it because I'm doing a little favor for him. But what do you call it? He sent me so much material. That sealed stuff from Epstein stuff that was been sealed for years and years and years. So, way more. No one's ever asked me to see it. No one's like, oh, Ed, what do you got there? Yeah, no one cares. They just Google. All right, guys. I'm going to play a little outro music here for you. Merry Christmas to all. To all, a good night. All right, guys. I love you.
This next song is about leaving town.
If you go down to Hammer,
Well, I guess.
One in Louisiana, one who travels around. One of them mainly stays in Heartthrob Town. I am not their main concern, they are lonely too. I am just an arrow passing through. When they look into my eyes, I know what to do. I make sure the words I say are true. When they send me off at dawn, pay the driver my fare. They know I am going down somewhere. Oh, the married men never would have had a good time again if it wasn't for the married men. One says he'll come after me, another one will drop me a line. Drop her a line, drop her a line. One of them says all my agony is in my mind. In her mind, in her mind. They know what is wrong with me. None of them wants my hand. Wants her hand. Soloing in my traveling wedding band. Oh, the married men, oh, the married men. Makes me feel like a girl again to run with the married men. One of them's got a little boy, other one he's got two. One of them's wife is 1 week overdue. I know these girls, they don't like me, but I am just